That's right, no need to adjust your televisions, phones, tablets, laptops, you name it. Big Block Bob, All Bob Race Team, we have officially DNF'd a drag and drive event, and it was Rocky Mountain Race Week 2026, and it feels horrible. I would have thought my first Rocky Mountain Race Week would have been the closest to disaster this program has come. We had another close fight maybe 4 years ago. But this one takes the cake, and I feel horrible because of the way Drag Week went. I really wanted to come out here and show out and show what the car is capable of. I did do a little testing before the event, and on the track anyway, that event, I was losing some traction, but it showed potential of a pretty deep 9-second at the local track, where NA, I should be in the 9s during Rocky Mountain at the lower elevation tracks. So I'd registered for NA. My son, last minute, day of the event, decided to do waitlist and get in for 10-0. He does not have an NHRA license, so that made sense for him. He couldn't turn anything better than a 10 flat anyway. Whereas if the car could go in the 9s, I could at least do that in the NA class. So that's how we had registered. That's how we're signed up. We're going to hit the track, see what it does. We're in the lanes. First pass for driver number 1. For the day is Robert, and he's going 10-0 class, so this is all 10-0 people. Pretty full class, I'd say. It's interesting because Pueblo is a great equalizer with the altitude, so I imagine everybody here is a power adder of some sort so they can make up for lost time at Pueblo. Of course, we're going to have nitrous at our disposal. About 2 classes after this will be my opportunity in big block naturally aspirated. And I'm hoping that I can click off something in the 9s. We've got an idea of what RPM he should be going through the traps, maybe to hit 10-0. The weather so far has held off, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed on that. And if he can get more than one opportunity, let's say he breaks out and goes 999 or something crazy, or he goes 1040 because he let off thinking he was going too fast. We'll see. This is our no bueno moment of the day. Our braided line is blowing right off of the fitting. And it blew right into, I think, the buddy's face or body or whatever, but we've got a mess here now. And we've got no transmission fluid. And we got a hose that keeps blowing off the stupid fitting. So, what to do? right, so at the end of the racing program, we each had a time slip, something we could work with. We ended up switching classes at the time of turning in our slips. And the reason for that is Bobby was closer for NA to be competitive, and I could fight my way through 10-0, and we would just kind of deal with what we had to deal with. And the car had other ideas, though. As soon as we got back to the pits from turning in our time slips, we ran into a handful of problems in addition to the problems we had during the racing program portion of the day. So we're going to kind of detail some of that here right now. Let's take a look. So here we are. We're getting ready to load the car up. We'd already made the decision now. We're going to bite the bullet and DNF this thing. So we're getting ready to load the car. And one of the reasons is the starter and the flex plate making just heinous noises. Some of the worst stuff I've heard. But here's us trying to get the car on the trailer, and the worst part is it took like 3 starts to get it on the trailer. We made it home. However, the car would not come off the trailer under its own power. It wouldn't start. All we heard was grinding and noises, and we kind of made the right call. Now, we had some parts with us. They were in the truck, though. I had the starter with us. I didn't have the extra flex plate. I had that in the truck. I wasn't thinking we were going to need it. And sadly, that was one of the reasons that we bowed out. We would have to get another flex plate and put... Oh, we had the starter. We just have to rewire. It's a little different wiring between the 2 starters that I had. Not a deal breaker, especially for an event like this. So we couldn't get the car off the trailer. We unloaded it manually, pushing it off the trailer into the garage. And then here's some footage of the other thing we ran into during Rocky Mountain Race Week. Back in the loo here, we are in the garage taking a look at Lucy's wheel situation. That's how much drag is on this caliper right now. So yeah, that's a good spin, and nothing's happening. If we go to the other side for comparison, I mean, that's not great either. I thought I'd get a little bit more than that out of it, but the other side for sure doesn't move at all if I'm not putting pressure on it. So we're going to pull it apart, put the other caliper on, and that's step 1 in getting us back in business. Alright, I don't know what you know about aerospace brakes, but they should be very low drag on their disc setup, the setup that I have. And the passenger side caliper was pretty well locked up. At the end of last season, I did an event where we went to Beach Bend in Bowling Green, Kentucky to drag race and try to get some good passes at the end of the season. And the car pulled really hard to the right. And I feel like after the fact, I realized that caliper was sticking. So we had the car in the air, and my son likes to fidget with stuff, as children do. Anyway, so he was trying to roll the wheel out of his fidgeting nature, and the thing wouldn't roll hardly. And it was like the caliper was locked up. We had pushed the pistons back and kind of reset it and everything. Added some fluid or whatever, bled it out again. Everything seemed to be okay. We went to the track, made a few passes, and then I drove it to work the week of the event, like 3 days ahead of the event. And then my son drove it home. And the thing is, I mean, the drivability was terrible. The car was really off adjustment for highway and part throttle. It was decent for open throttle and idling, but the middle part's garbage. And that was something we'd have to work out on the fly during this event so we don't foul a bunch of plugs. But the brake sticking was the big deal. So we had 100 miles on the car, roughly. The racing, it didn't do anything weird. Got back to the pits at Great Bend, and sure enough, the car's in the air. We're looking at the starter. He fidgets again, and the next thing you know, he's trying to spin the wheel, and it won't hardly turn. So it's like, great, here we are back to having a stuck caliper. Now, I had a spare, but it's at home, so it's not going to do us a lot of good on this event, and these are calipers you're not really going to find anywhere and everywhere where you can just borrow one again. And for that reason, the drivability, the transmission cooler lines you saw leaking a moment ago, all those things combined for let's just pack it up and spare the car. If we had another issue with the hose down the line, even though we think it's okay, if it comes off and we have that situation like what happened to me during drag week where the car spins out on the track, very problematic. Not to mention, I'd hate to be the other racers knowing that some goofball like me pushed the envelope and spilled stuff all over the track, causing a long shutdown of the track surface for cleanup and things. So we erred on the side of caution, took the car off the track, put it on the trailer, took it home, and just kind of eat the feelings of not making it through the event for the first time. I wasn't joking about the eat the feelings here. Let's have a look at some of the delicious food we found on the road. So after this, we ended up visiting some great friends of ours we've known for 10 years now. They really helped us out during our first Rocky Mountain Race Week. Jim and Billy Lou. We met them in Colorado. We dropped the car off at a friend Adam's house in Colorado. He was kind enough to give us a place to drop the car so we could drive around, meet some people, talk to some dear friends, and then we hit the road and headed home. Well, that's the sad conclusion of our Rocky Mountain Race Week 2026. We are back in St. Louis. I've already got new footage ready for you folks. Starts with some more brake fun. That'll most likely be a short, not a longer video like this. And then there will be some racing footage of a very recent, maybe 3 days ago event here at the local track, Worldwide Technology Raceway. So expect to see more content more regular now that we're in the full swing of race season. Appreciate you watching. Thanks again.